Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I'm Sean, this is In The Mix and we're up to episode 7 of our FC Isle of Man series. Pretty much continuing on season 2 in the Southern Combination League. If you haven't gone and caught up on episode 6, please go and do that because there's a bunch of different stuff about the divisions we're in, the team we've put together, all that sort of stuff. But we're going to jump pretty much straight into the games for today. Now, we have mixed it up a little bit. I think I originally said we were going to come back for like the 11th and 12th games of the season, but thought I'd mix that up just a little bit to try and bring a little bit more of our FA Vase competition games this year. We are doing fine in the league. We are top of the division. We've got a game that we're going to play today against Crowborough, but it is much closer than it was this time last season. We have lost twice already in the league itself. Both times we were well and truly ahead in terms of like possession, chances created, all that sort of stuff. Just didn't finish that well. And we've also had one draw in that time last time out against Crawley Down. So it is a little bit closer than it has been. Sure, I'm hot on our heels. They've only lost one game themselves. We did get knocked out of the FA Cup first round, but I did play a heavily rotated squad. And I'm going to try and focus a little bit more on the FA Vase competition because if we are going to carry on and be at the top of the division in the league, it's not the most interesting series in the world if you're kind of running away with it. And we've been top every match day so far. So what I'd like to do is we'll continue to bring you one game an episode in the league so we can track that progress, but also try and focus a little bit more on the FA Vase and getting the first trophy or the first cup competition in the cabinet. Now, famous last words, we're probably going to get knocked out in this episode and that whole thing is going to go out the window. But if it does, we'll just revert back to the normal plan. We've got a couple of teams now that have beaten us that we want to try and get revenge in. We can bring you those games in future episodes as well. Now, ins and outs, the squad has changed a little bit. We're kind of, early on in the season, we were struggling to get players to come across. One, because they wanted too much money or they wanted part-time contracts. And at the moment, we can only offer non-contracts and per appearance payments. As the season's wearing on and some of those juniors that have been cut from higher division clubs get through the season, they're starting to kind of lower their expectations a little bit and we're performing well, so the club reputation is boosted as well. We've been able to bring in a couple of new faces. Will Appleyard is in goal, 2.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential. Still a decent player, ex-FC Halifax, started his career at Crew back in the day. He's been around this level for quite a bit. He's a step above what we previously had in Michael Statham. He's doing fine, not setting the world on fire, not anyone that would probably look to get more than a season out of, but doing fine for this level of football. Harold Essien we've brought in, ex-Middlesbrough junior, looks to be a very competent right wing back, 20 natural fitness, good statistical ability across his mental attributes and physical attributes. Technically needs a little bit of work, but there's quite a few players we've got that are in that same boat. He's only 18 as well, so got plenty of time. Oren Thompson we brought in, looks to be a very competent central defender. We're using him as the stopper in the particular shape and structure. It seems to be complementing and dovetailing with Scott Wilson very, very well. We did have a long-term injury to James Cook. He has worked his way back into fitness after about 8 weeks out, but we're in a position now where we have 3 high-quality central defenders that we can kind of rotate through. Scott Wilson's been unhappy about a bunch of different things, so it'll be good to have depth if he continues to get upset and wants to leave. Matty Jacob, we just brought in. He's probably going to make his debut in this episode. Left fullback, looks to be a decent option. We have changed our fullback options just a little bit. 2.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential. Ex-Hull junior himself. Max Haygarth, an absolute star. Ex-Manchester United academy player. We've changed our Messiah role to suit him a little bit more. You can see here good technical attributes, good mental attributes, decent enough physical traits for what we're asking him to do. Only 18 years of age himself. So if we can get him on a part-time deal, he's the sort of player that we might be able to sell on for a profit and make a bit of money for the club. Similar story with George Broadbent, played at Manchester United and Sheffield as a junior. Excellent technical attributes, probably the best at the club. Good mentals, good physical stats as well. He's 20, so he's getting towards, the end of his kind of potential ability period. But definitely one that we're happy to have brought in. Ura is continuing to play. Harrison's playing at the moment ahead of Ola. We're struggling to find that kind of like left wing option that we really want, but I think we might do some tactical tweaks. Charlie Ball is keeping us top of the division on his own some weeks. He's got 25 goals and 5 assists in only 13 league appearances. Just insane stats. It's crazy that he's actually still playing football with us, if I'm being completely honest. And he's playing alongside Joe Thompson. We have dropped Joe Thompson a couple of times just because he's struggling to find the back of the net, but his average rating is very, very good, and he's always amongst the highest match rated players in any game, even when he's not scoring. Thomas Allen is another player that we've brought in, ex-Newcastle junior, who can play up front and can kind of do the deep line forward role, so we might continue to rotate that one a little bit as the season wears on. Rashid Baldo brought in to give us more depth in central midfield. We have released a couple of players that just weren't really at the level that we needed them to do. And because there's no transfer windows, we're probably going to continue doing that throughout the course of the series. So we've got a whole bunch of players that we're keeping an eye on here that are either on trial other places or that we've previously looked at when they were free transfers that have now signed permanent contracts. Reece Fenlon's one that we've currently got a contract offer to ex-Burnley junior. He could play on the wing on either side, which would help us quite a bit. James Daly might be a great shout if we can actually get him to sign terms. He's currently on trial with Burgess Hill, who are a division above us, but he's only on trial. I don't think they've offered him a contract yet. So hopefully if that doesn't go well, he might look to a drop down and even further another division. We have a lot of options basically, so we're going to continue kind of like tweaking the tactics, tweaking the squad and the makeup and all that sort of stuff, and trying to find that right balance so that we can kind of steamroll teams in the second half of the season. We have dropped our left wing back with Jacob coming in to be just a supporting role, and I think we're also going to start working on Harrison being just a winger on attack to give us that width. Ure seems to get in behind a lot more than the player on the left-hand side does, and the idea being that if they're both trying to get in behind in wide areas, they might stretch the defence a little bit more and open up more space for Thompson to kind of work in the hole, for Ball to push in and drag the last man, for Haygarth to get a bit further forward as Mosiah and support. So constantly tweaking, constantly changing stuff, constantly trying to find the best balance for the team and the squad that we have available. And then we're also going to keep trying to dump into the transfer market and see if there are other players that we can bring in. Right, now I've accidentally just jumped straight into the game. They are playing a flat 4-4-2 shape, relatively straightforward. Crowborough aren't pulling up any real massive sticks so far this season, sitting down in 14th position. We should have enough to get past them, but they've got a highlight here. Ball forward and Appleyard comes out and claims. We'll see if we've got anything on the counter-attack here. We are, for the first time as well, starting to see players getting upset about their playing time and their squad status and all that sort of stuff. So we are trying to kind of adjust things based on who requests game time. And Harrison is one of those players, and he just had a great opportunity to put us a goal up. But a good save from the Crowborough keeper results in a corner. Ure's going to take it on the right-hand side. There were men towards front post, but it comes back out. Thompson. Ball cleared away. Freeman has coming forward for Crowborough. Good tackle in midfield from Broadbent, and then he launches it back forward. I think the referee gave a free kick, and the highlight comes to an end. Pearce with a long ball forward from the Crowborough goal. It's a good ball, actually, to Barnett in the middle, who crossfield switches it out towards Emery. Steps inside, finds Robinson on the other wing. Barnett again, we've recovered the ball in a good position. We've got a 4v2 if we make good off-the-ball runs. Ball played over to Charlie Ball, who gets the strike away from a tough angle. His 26th goal of the season, despite us already only being in October. And you see here in 3 dimensions, Thompson does very well. Waits for the defender to commit, plays the ball inside for Ball, and he maybe could have looked to switch it back a stick. Instead, striker in confidence smashes that one in from the right-hand side of the 6-yard box and right into the top corner. Pearce in the Crowborough goal couldn't do anything about it, and we go a goal up. We've got an immediate highlight here as well. Barnett's gotten in behind. Thompson has made a rash challenge and he's been shown a straight red, which is very frustrating. We've had 3 red cards so far this season. I think I'll sacrifice Thompson, which isn't 100% fair. He played a lovely ball for that in the lead up to the first goal. But we'll bring James Cook on. He can play as the stopper, and Wilson can continue to anchor in behind. Assertively, let's tell him we have faith. We're going to stay on our positive mentality because I'd like us to still be a little bit more direct in possession once we recover the ball. Throw in here. It's a long ball forward. Ball is in the area. He's picked up a yellow card of his own. He could cut this back to Ure at back stick. Goes all the way back to Jacob. Deep ball across towards Ure, and he's offside, but it was an excellent cross. If he had timed that run a little bit better, it would have been a wonderful finish. Throw for Crowborough here. They've come back a little bit in possession in the last couple of minutes since we went down to 10. Ball forward is poor. Haygarth should recover. Sends ball down into the wide area. Ure stayed forward at back post if he can get the ball in. Goodacre with the header away. Takes it away from his own keeper. Barnett with a long ball forward. Essien should tidy up, but the header's poor. It falls to Emery. He's looking for Sunderland in behind, who has gotten goal side twice now. And he nearly gets the good finish there. Just pushes it past the far post. I think he was the man that ran in behind that forced Thompson into that rash challenge. And we get through to half-time. Still a goal up, but we are down to 10, which is a concern. They've had 4 shots, 2 on target, 41% of the ball. We've had 10, 5, and 59. And we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on the yellow cards here in the match, and also runs fitness now that we're playing with 10. Throwing up the line here for Sunderland. Ball inside to Emery. Good recovery tackle by Essien. Goes all the way back to Appleyard. Clears the long ball forward. It's put straight back in towards Sunderland on the left-hand side. A big crossfield volley. Essien's won it back in a good area. Plays it forward to Ure, who turns his man very, very well. Just try and make the centre-back commit here and then square it up. He does to Ball. It's an excellent save, though, from the goalkeeper for Crowborough. And we do still have that danger on the counter-attack if we can get Ure out consistently. All right, we're through an hour now, so we're going to change Harrison to be a winger on attack to try and match the width that Ure is currently giving us on the counter. And then the other change we're going to make is we're going to take off Jim Broadbent. I nearly said Jim Broadbent. He's the actor, George Broadbent. And we'll bring on Rashid Bolday in midfield just because of that yellow card. And we're going to hold on to the last sub just in case anybody else picks up any yellows or anything crazy like that. Given there's 30 minutes remaining, we'll also use our Get Creative shout. And we're going to stay on positive to keep trying to use the ball efficiently once we recover. They've got a corner here. Sunderland with the header, and Barnett pokes it home. Jordan Barnett, his second goal of the season. It's disappointing to do it from a set piece situation. I'm not sure who's set up on back post. And it's poor from them. Who is that? Is that Balde? No, it's SEN, the right back. Not good to not challenge Sunderland. Not good to let the runner go through. And we go to 1-1. And on track to drop our first points of the series, I think, so far. Appleyard with the ball forward to Harrison, who brings it down well. Wilson looks for the ball in behind, but Vokes will cut that one out. Crossfield switch over to Hall. They've got a 2v1 if they work this correctly. Ball in behind of SEN, who seems to be struggling a little bit in the second half. Cross is poor, and Appleyard comes out and claims. Long ball forward from the keeper now. Ball's in the area. Does well to knock it down to Balde. Out wide to Harrison. Good crossfield switch out towards Uro, who has a lot to do. Cuts it back across. Harrison's there. Tries to get the ball in the middle. Barnett gets it away and then knocks a long ball towards Freeman. Good header from Wilson. Cook looks to send it back through again. There's not enough players around ball for us to be playing long balls like that. Freeman's gotten in behind now and goal side. And from the wide area, he's found the finish, Ricky Freeman. All right, what are we going to do tactically here? We might go to our attacking structure a little bit. Push everybody on a little bit further. Maybe make Balde a deep line playmaker on support. Or what's his preferred role, actually? Central midfielder on support. We've got one more sub, so we're going to bring on Ola, and we're going to move him to be a winger on attack as well, just to keep that width. Let's passionately tell everybody, I have faith in you. There is an immediate highlight here. Oh no, the highlight comes to an end. It's about 10 minutes remaining. Going to use our Get Creative shout here. Balde with the ball in behind. It's tidied up well by Pearce in the Crowborough goal. This would be our third league goal, our third league defeat in the opening 14 games, which isn't exactly championship pace, but it depends on what Shorehams doing in the other game. Balde with the ball out wide now to Ure. Ure gets past his man and steps inside. Tries to get the strike away. It's a good save again from Pearce. We've had more than enough chances. Short corner routine should be taken by Ure. Instead he goes deep himself. Pearce comes out and claims. It's very frustrating actually that he's not using the routine the way that we've set it up. Pearce with a long ball forward. Essien should tidy this one up on his own. Brings it down. Carries it forward. Played toward ball. Ball does very well to knock a header back into Balde. Looks for a crossfield switch and nobody's really switched onto it. It goes out for a throw into Crowborough. We've used our Get Creative shout. A few people look inspired, but we haven't seen much in terms of highlights. And the game is firing away. We're going to use demand more just for the extra time. We're through the 3 minutes now, and I think the game's going to come to an end. So it's our third defeat of the league season. Barnett and Freeman getting the goals in the second half for Crowborough. Charlie Ball got us off to a good start, but Thompson's red card ended up kind of biting us a little bit. Let's just say that wasn't good enough, and it has inspired a fair few players. So we lose top spot, we'll fall behind Shoreham with that result. Thompson suffers debut red card. I forgot it was Aaron Thompson's debut, so a bit disappointing for him. We'll issue him a warning. And Sam Oliver, funnily enough, on the same day as a centre-back that we've released from his non-contract. Maybe he could have performed a bit better. So we're going to bring James Cook back in for the next match. And we'll bring Wilson onto the bench. And we might drop Harrison out and bring in Ola back on that left-hand side. And let's just finalise that change and switch that to be a winger on attack across all of our different shapes and mentalities. And let's also make that change to their training as well. Good time for a tactical tweak. If we're doing those couple other things, we might also make it a pressing forward on support instead of a deep lying forward. See if we can get more kind of finishing out of Thompson. Not going to change anything just yet in terms of our in-possession instructions or out of possession, but if results continue to not be what we're after, or if we don't get a good performance in the next game, we might have a look at those and make this kind of like a tactical tweaking episode and reviewing what we've done so far. So it does mean we have a game against Billingham Town still in the FAVs. We are playing away from home. I'm not going to rotate. I'm going to try and keep a strong squad for each of these matches. Magic of editing though. We're going to jump forward to that game now. Right, just like that, we are a week ahead. The big one is that Fenlon has joined us, which is great. He'll come straight in on the left-hand side. We're going to try and train him as a winger on attack. On that side, he is a right-footed player. His left foot isn't great, but he looks to have a little bit more ability about him. Hopefully, if he makes good off-the-ball runs, he'll continue to kind of give us the same penetration and width that Ure does on the other side. But Ure's a star player. I shouldn't set the bar too high. Cook will come in and start with the suspension for Thompson. Because it's a cup game, we go down to 5 on the bench. But otherwise, an unchanged lineup. They're playing a 4-3-3. They've got Kane McGaw in goal, who was our backup goalkeeper last season. Not a bad little player, but certainly wouldn't be starting in our current lineup. They've also got Joe Kerridge on the left wing, who looks like he's got a face aging app on. Horrific if you're actually watching Joe. I do apologise. 24-year-old ex-Newcastle junior. Looks to be a solid-ish option on the left-hand side, though he's naturally a striker. We're just going to tell everybody, go out there, play your natural game. The result will come. Billingham are in the division below us. We might also turn on FAV's results. Jacob with a throw in here, first highlight of the game. Deep ball across towards Ball in the area. It's going to come out, but Haygarth should tidy up. Lost the ball out to Scales, back to Booth now. They've looked out left to Kerridge, who we did talk about. I shouldn't have spoke shit about him in the build-up if he scores this. It's a good strike, had a lot of venom on it, but Appleyard does very well to push that one out for the corner. Resulting corner to be taken by Booth, who wraps his foot around it. Good header by Lutchford, but never looked like it was troubling the goal. Throwing again here for Billingham. Kerridge to take into Hutchinson. Back to Kerridge. Top of the box. Gets his strike away. It's not a bad effort. Just clips the base of the post on its way out. Keeper didn't really look panicked. And statistically, in the first 10 minutes, they're all over us here. Booth to take another corner. Headed away by Essien. Lutchford at the top of the box. Reverse pass to Scales. Back inside to Gregory. Gregory with the ball now. Back to Scales, just working the 1-2s. The press is good. Thompson recovers in a good area. Ball spills to Kerridge. Long ball forward. Jacob cuts it out. Fenlon on debut. Plays it back to Wilson. There's a few players in the area. Sunter goes all the way back to McGoey in goal. Long ball forward. Good header from Essien. Haygarth recovers the ball as well. Ure with good possession on the right-hand side. He's lost out to Gregory. It's a bit scrambly at the moment. The ball falls to Hutchinson on the edge of the area, and he's found the finish, Craig Hutchinson, for his 4th goal of the season. It was very chaotic in the middle there. It looked like it could have gone either way. The ball spilled the direction for Billingham, though. You'll see there Gregory with a good tackle on Ure, which we don't see all that much. Kerridge with a good tackle going through Cook. And the result of that tackle is the ball perfectly weighted to Hutchinson, who, to be fair, it's a very good finish on his left foot, smacks it into the top corner. Can't really be too upset with many of the players there. They tried to force him wide, but statistically speaking, they are well and truly on top here. Ball across, Cook heads it away. Someone's got to come out to Kidd. Crossfield switch, out towards Lutchford now. Good tackle on the edge of the area. Ball laid back to Osmond, who gets the strike away from about 25, and Appleyard, equal to it, pushes it over for the corner. They are well and truly on top of us here. Osmond with the ball in, headed away by Cook. Ure now plays a long ball forward towards Ball. We've got a 2v2 if we work the ball correctly. Instead, Kidd tackles Ball and gives away the free kick. Positive structure isn't entirely working with the amount of highlights that we've seen. We might mix it up and go to attacking just to keep that shape. And if that doesn't work yet, we've gone 2-0 down, so we're going to have to go to our attacking structure just to try and resolve it. And Joe Kerridge must have heard me talking shit about him before the game, because he has found an excellent finish there. He took the throw, got the ball back, skips past the challenger Cook, bursts into the box, and then from not a great angle, has a good strike. Maybe the keeper's angles could have been a little bit better, but it had a little bit on it. We've immediately gone attacking, and there's another highlight here. Ure with a great touch around the man. Don't strike from the wide area. Of course he does. McGoey pushes it out for a corner. So going to be anything resulting from that. A first real set-piece danger of the match so far towards Ball. It's headed away, and then Booth hacks it clear. Essien with the ball, and the highlight comes to an end. Throw in here to Essien. Now to Ball. Ure to Haygarth. Probably the best passage of passing play we've seen so far. We work it out left to Jacob. Gets a deep ball across towards Ure back stick, and we've managed to pull 1 goal back after switching up our mentalities. Let's also use our get creative shout at the same time. See if we can continue to turn the tide, but at least that slight little change in attacking mentality has gotten us a highlight. And it's a good ball across from Jacob, and a great header back across the goalkeeper for Ure. His 5th goal of the season, which is still pretty impressive. We're only in October, don't forget. Another corner routine here, Ure to take towards Cook. Thompson at the back post. Is he onside? That's the big question. The linesman's running away. I think we're going to get it goal anyway. He's 9th of the season, so he's nearly hit double figures before December as well. And a good assist from James Cook. It's Ure's deep ball across. Cook with a good header between a few defenders, and Thompson, the fox in the box, at back post, pokes it home from about a yard. And it's a superb fight back to come back from 2-0 down. We're going to, with 10 minutes remaining, demand more as well. We've used a couple of shouts here early on in the game. Long ball forward for them towards Hutchinson. Keeper's coming out poorly, and thankfully Hutchinson's chip just clips the outside of the crossbar on its way over. Essien with the throw-in on the right-hand side to Ball. End-to-end stuff in this game. This one half has had more highlights than some of the games we've played so far this year. Kerridge, who's already scored once, skips forward, skips inside a couple of challenges, strikes from distance and hits the crossbar from a ridiculous angle. His finishing and his long shots are just killing us at the moment. Jacob, throwing on the on the left. Broadbent. Jacob back to Broadbent again. Just keep possession, boys. Looks for the switch out towards Ure. It wasn't really on. Haygarth wins the header though. Falls to him again. Played in behind for Ball. Can he find the finish? McGoey is equal to it. Comes out and holds. Throw in here for Billingham Town. Hutchinson with the ball now. Tries to cut it back. Clearance get closed down. Ball played out left to Lushford. Backstick run towards Kerridge. Cuts it back for Kidd, who squares it up for Hutchinson. Excellent play. Phenomenal save from Appleyard. He's kept us in it there. 3 minutes to be added on. We're through that now, and we get to half time. It's been a breathless first half, 2-2 after coming back from 2 goals down. 11 shots, 5 on target, 48% of the ball for Billingham, 11, 6 and 52% for us. Let's passionately say I'm happy with the performance so far. I don't want anyone to get too upset. We have managed to turn it around a little bit and at least statistically brought it back to level pegging, as well as the goals. We've got a few yellow cards, which we're going to have to keep an eye on. That's obviously going to be a bigger issue this year than it was last year. Appleyard now with a highlight with just about an hour gone. Ball played back. Thompson's going to get there first. Can he find the finish? It's a good save from Magui. Pushes it out. I know that that's not how you pronounce the name. I just like saying it that way. We've got a corner here. Essin to take. Booth with a header away. Fenton should recover at the top of the box. He doesn't. Jacob hooks it back in and the highlight comes to an end. All right, 30 minutes remain. We're going to go big. We're going to take off 3 guys that are on yellows. We've got another 3 that are out there. But I think if Haygarth or Ball get sent off, we're not in that bad a shape. But if one of Matty Jacob, Harold Essin at right back, or Broadbent in midfield gets sent off, we're in a bit of trouble. So let's assertively tell the subs, I have faith in you. And hopefully those fresh legs can kind of give us a bit extra in the final run of this game. I don't really want to replay because I didn't plan for it in the episode. Booth with the ball on the right-hand side, hangs up towards Hutchinson, and thankfully it's straight at Appleyard in goal. Is that the end of the highlight, or are we going to see a little bit more here? It's a long ball forward from Appleyard towards Fenton, who brings it down very well. Plays it back to Broadbent. Switch out towards Ure. He's gotten behind his fullback here. Hangs it up towards Thompson. Gets the header in. Can we find the poke home? He has Joe Thompson with his 10th goal of the season and an excellent finish. His initial header, I think, came off the post, but he managed to stay alert, get back to the rebound and poke that one home. His combined yardage on both of his goals would be about 2 yards in this match. Ure, good cross towards Thompson. Great header. Hits the inside of the post. And he's the first man to react to the rebound as well and smash that one home to give us a 3-2 lead and take the lead for the first time in this match. We're still going to proceed with the tactical changes. We're still going to use our get creative shout because I think they've probably got more goals in them as well. Baker with a deep free kick. We haven't scored, I think, from a direct free kick so far this season. I know there was one for the backup right back last season. It got goal of the season. I can't remember his name. It was Teddy something. Bluth or Booth maybe. Hutchinson with the ball in the out, deep ball across. Appleyard does better, comes out and claims that one with ease. They didn't have any men in the box, but keepers this year can do some crazy shit. Thompson with an excellent header to bring Fenlon into the play. Back to him again, rolls his man very well, steps inside, in the box, can he find the finish? Ball out to Ure. Good tackle. Oh no, Ure was offside in the end. Thompson's having a very good game. He's on for a hat-trick here if he can find one more finish. Osman with the throw-in. Ure should recover possession. Looks for a crossfield switch towards Thompson. Good reverse pass to Fenlon. Has he got the pace to get in behind? It's a strike from the edge of the area. Magui equal to it and it goes out for a corner kick. Short corner routine should be on. Ure can play it short or he's just going to hook it into the box because he seems to do that all the time. Booth now. Ball forward by Lushford. I'm not sure why we saw any of that because it didn't really lead to anything. 10 minutes remaining. We're going to demand more from the team. Hopefully get a bit of a response out of everybody. Ure with the corner again. Of course, he just hooks it straight in despite being set to short corners. It was a good header from Thompson, good chance for his hat-trick, but keeper's equal to it. 3 minutes to be added on. We've got a highlight here. Cook with a deep ball towards ball. Osmond tries to hack one back in. Wilson should win the header, but it's poor clearance. Booth out wide right to Lushford. Hangs the ball back in the middle. Kerridge back stick, and is he onside? It looks like it is. It's second goal of the game for him. And pretty poor there from Wilson. He had 2 men on. Instead, he goes the opposite direction. Lushford with a good hanging cross to the back stick. Nobody follows him. Disappointing for Barrett there. Coming off the bench and conceding to his immediate rival. And we might be destined for a replay here. So 16 shots, 8 on target, 48% of the ball, 28, 13 and 52% for them. What is that going to do to our squad? Oh no, it goes to extra time. So assertively, don't let this slip away now. We'll go the old Stevie G. Let's tell the defence assertively. You have the ability to make a difference and hopefully they'll respond positively. Throw in deep for Billingham. Forward to Wheeler, back to Osmond. Looks for a long ball forward. Cook cuts it out with ease. Baker with long ball forward to Thompson. Can he find the hat-trick? He just blasts that one. Is he onside? I think he is. It's his 11th goal of the season. His 50th goal for Isle of Man as well in really a season and a quarter. And it's an excellent finish. Good recovery here from Cook. Makes up for the poor header earlier. Baker with a good long ball forward into that hole. Thompson, excellent touch. Just absolutely rifles that one into the back of the net. Didn't try to aim for anything, just kicked the living piss out of it. And if it's the goal that wins us this tie, I will absolutely take it. Throw in again. A lot of stuff started from Billingham highlights both directions. Claxton with the ball now. Forward to Lushford. Wide area. Beck with a good tackle. Plays it up the line towards Fenlon, who's been solid on debut. Crossfield switch towards Ure, who's gotten in behind, takes an excellent touch, edge of the area, and McGui's equal to it again, puts it out for a corner kick. Are we going to work the short corner routine finally? We finally do it. Fenlon plays it back to Ure, who may be offside. Lushford's won the ball back, and yeah, Ure's offside. That is so frustrating. Just get the ball in the box, boys. Follow the plan. Deep free kick from Baker in the second half of extra time. Headed back across. Fenlon's gotten the goal in his debut. An assist from Charlie Ball, and hopefully that 2-goal advantage, the first time we've had a 2-goal advantage in this game, though it has been end-to-end, is enough to see us get through. Good ball from Baker. Nice little stutter step on the penalty, on the free kick. Ball with a good header back across, and Fenlon, Fox in the box, pokes home from a yard out. We've done that a couple of times this season, and twice in this game. Thompson got the first one from the corner. Cook now with the ball, forward to Ure. Ball in behind for Thompson. This will be his last chance to get his hat-trick, and he's found the finish. His 12th goal of the season. Actually, is that his 4th? I've lost count completely. Why couldn't we have put this performance together in 90 minutes? Why does it take an additional half an hour for us to do stuff like this to teams and just overwhelm them with attacking force? It's a well-weighted pass in behind on his left foot from Ure, and Thompson again dinks it over the keeper. And hopefully that is the last bit that we're going to see for this game. I just need everyone to see it out without getting injuries or suspensions. Of course, there's an immediate highlight. Ball from Sumter into Connor. Wheeler to Scales. Ball out wide to Barrett, who cuts it out well. Haygarth looks for Ure on the right-hand side. He's got him goal side. Can he square the ball up here? We'll play it back to the fullback. Squares it to Ball, who a yard out should have finished, but Thompson, I think that's his 5th goal of the game and 13th goal of the season. I still haven't had a chance to check because we haven't gone back into the other menu yet. We'll check it out here in 3 dimensions. It's scrappy from Ure. He probably should have released the ball rather than gone for the shot, but he does manage to recover, hang a ball to Ball. I don't know how we've missed that one, and thankfully Thompson's there to poke home the rebound. Holy shit, there's another highlight again. We've still got 10 minutes of extra time remaining. Kerridge plays the ball inside to Scales. Looks for the release pass in behind for Hutchinson. Wide area, gets the strike away. Appleyard does very well to push it around the post. Corner by Osmond. Should be headed away by Barrett. Sunter's going to get to it first, the centre back. Hooks one back in. Barrett with the header away again. Thankfully the highlight comes to an end. 5 goals for Thompson. Absolutely insane. He's going to get the first 10 rating I think I've seen in the game this year. 1 minute to be added on of extra time. And eventually, we get through after extra time. 7-3 in the end. Joe Thompson, absolutely fantastic. Kerridge had a good game for them as well. 37 shots, 19 on target, 52% of the ball for us. Let's passionately tell everybody, very happy with the result and the way you played. No need to get down on anyone. We just want to keep morale as high as humanly possible. And what we might also do is jump forward to the next day and see who our next round opponent is. All right, we're going to go automatic draw. And I'm just going to wait until our name pops up because I don't think you want to hear me read every different team that's actually in it. All right, the draw came to an end and I missed us. I missed us coming up back here. So we've been drawn at home to Billingshurst, who are playing in the Southern Combo Division League 1, or League Division 1, which is the division beneath where we're currently playing. A couple of players, but nothing really to write home about. We should be confident of getting past them. When is that game scheduled for? The 31st of October. So is that this month? It is, so we're going to probably have the shortest jump forward that we've had in the series so far. We're going to come back and do the game against Shoreham, which will be massive because they're currently first in the league. And then we're also going to do the game against Billingshurst to continue our FAV's run, which will come out tomorrow, Wednesday, wherever you're watching. If you're watching it on the day it's released in the world. If you're watching this one back, ignore everything I said. It could be any day of the week. All right, guys, we're firing through the episodes. We're firing through very quickly the second season as well. Thank you so much to everyone who's continuing to support the channel and the content. Very much appreciate the continued views and all the positive things that people have had to say about it across Twitter and in comment sections and all that sort of stuff. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to get up to date on all our future videos as they're released. We're trying to do Monday to Friday, pretty much from here on out of the Isle of Man save. So if you watch it every day, you'll have something during the week. If you tend to binge watch stuff, you can watch them all over the weekend. If you can't get enough of In The Mixer content, you can also follow us over on Twitter at InTheMixer_FM. And every Sunday night or Sunday morning, if you're in the UK, we do a live stream of our Employee of the Month series. Go and check that out as well. As always though, guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the Mixer.